Most people don't have a money problem. They have a system problem. And the worst part? That system feels completely normal. You earn, you spend, you repeat. Nothing looks broken. But if that system was actually working, you wouldn't still feel stuck. Let's make this real for a second. Think about someone like Jake. 31, lives in Dallas, stable job, decent income. On paper, everything looks fine. But every month, after bills and basic spending, there's this quiet pressure he can't explain. Now let's break what's actually happening. Not opinions, not motivation, just reality. Here's the first truth. A large number of Americans can't handle a single unexpected expense without stress. Not a year of savings, not even a few months. Just one disruption is enough. Jake found this out the hard way. One night, his car broke down on the highway. Nothing dramatic, just a repair bill. But that one expense threw off his entire month. So the problem wasn't his income. It was the absence of a buffer. Because without a buffer, every small problem becomes a big one. The second truth, income growth rarely changes your life the way you expect. Jake got a raise 6 months later. For a moment, it felt like progress. He moved to a slightly better apartment, started eating out more, upgraded a few things. Nothing irresponsible. But within months, that extra money disappeared. And somehow, the same pressure came back. And this is where things get interesting. Because Jake wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just following what felt normal. Now here's the third truth. What you keep matters more than what you earn. Around the same time, Jake's coworker, Mike, living in the same city, earning almost the same salary, was in a completely different position. Mike wasn't earning more, he was just more aware of where his money was going. Same income, different outcome. If your expenses grow faster than your awareness, your income won't save you. You're just running faster on the same treadmill. And this leads to something even deeper, because it's not just about spending, it's about direction. Here's the fourth truth. Most people don't have a clear picture of where they're heading financially. Jake knew his monthly bills, roughly, but when he thought about the next 10 years, there was no clear answer. Not because he was careless, but because life kept him busy. Work, deadlines, daily responsibilities. So decisions stayed short-term, and short-term decisions quietly shaped his long-term reality. Now, layer something else on top of that. The fifth truth. Monthly commitments quietly control your life. Jake didn't have massive debt, but he had subscriptions, a car payment, regular expenses. Individually, they felt normal. Together, they limited his flexibility. When he thought about switching jobs, he hesitated. When he thought about taking a break, he couldn't, because those fixed costs were always there. And over time, they controlled more of his life than his income did. Now, here's where most people lose patience. The sixth truth. Financial progress feels slow, so people quit too early. Jake tried saving for a few months, but nothing seemed to change. The numbers moved slowly, almost invisibly, so it felt pointless. But what he didn't realize was this. That slow phase was the foundation. Because real growth doesn't feel dramatic in the beginning. It feels uneventful. And then there's one final piece most people overlook. And finally, the seventh truth. Your environment shapes your money more than you think. Jake lived in a city where everyone around him was upgrading. Better apartments, better cars, better lifestyles. And without realizing it, he was matching that energy. Not because he had to, but because it felt normal. Meanwhile, Mike kept things simple. Same environment, different response. And over time, that difference compounded. Now here's the shift most people miss. They think they're one decision away from fixing everything. One raise, one habit, one breakthrough. But that's not how it works. Real stability doesn't come from one big change. It comes from small, consistent adjustments, quiet ones, a slightly wider gap between income and expenses, a bit more awareness, a bit more patience. Not dramatic, but powerful over time. So here's where you start. Track your money for 7 days, not to fix it, just to see it clearly. Then create a small gap. Even 5% is enough to begin, and give it time. Because real financial progress doesn't feel exciting. It feels quiet. And if you've ever felt like Jake, trying but not really moving forward, you're not alone. You were just following a system you never stopped to question. And the moment you start seeing that system clearly is the moment things finally begin to change.